In the last exercise, we added routes to our application, enabling different URLs to display different components. Some of these components contain navigation links that let us move around the application. However, many of these components are still using plain old anchor tags. We can see this by going to the Components folder and the articles.js file. In the return statement, we can see these anchor tags being used to generate these links. Rather than using these A tags, which cause the browser to refresh, let's use React Router's link tags to avoid these page refreshes. Pause the video here and try adding the link tags to this articles component before continuing on. To add link components to the articles component, we first need to import it from React Router. Then, in the return statement, we can replace each instance of this anchor tag with a link. Finally, we need to make sure to replace these href attributes with a toProp. I'll save the code and return to the application. At this point, when I click on the links, you should see that the URL changes, but you'll notice that the refresh button isn't activating. Obviously, these articles aren't being rendered, but we'll return to that in a future exercise. Before we do that, we need to replace the anchor tags that are being used in this navigation bar. Head over to the header component, found in header.js, and using the navlink, replace each of these anchor tags with a navlink component. Pause the video here and try this out on your own before moving on. To add nav links to this component, again, we'll first need to import it from React Router DOM. Now, I can replace each instance of this A tag with a nav link. And finally, I need to remember to replace these href attributes with toProps. I'll save my code and return to the application. Now, when you click on these navigation links, not only is the refresh button not activating, but as you can see, these navigation headers are highlighting based on the current URL. Recall that when a nav link's toProp matches the current URL, that nav link will have an active class name applied to it. If we go into our public folder and look at the index.css file, we can see that active class name being defined with a font weight of bold. If you'd like, you can further change this around, and let's say I want the color of my nav links that are active to be purple. Now when I return to my application, these nav links will appear purple when I click on them.